over President Trump's actions and the impact that it is having on the global economy, causing another volatile day on Wall Street. For more on this, we welcome Matt Schulz, Chief Consumer Finance Analyst at LendingTree. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's talk about the market plunge in particular. The last couple of days certainly has a lot of people on edge. And you have some advice for your customers, for consumers in general, on maybe how to survive the turmoil of the Trump tariffs.
Yeah, honestly, it's a scary time and it's just a weird time, but it's really important to not panic and to understand that the most valuable financial asset that most people have is time. So if you pull out when the stock market plunges, you risk not being there for when it goes back up. And it's easy to say these sorts of things, but it's not as easy to stay the course, although it's a really important thing to do.
Certainly a little bit different for people who are already in retirement, perhaps, or thinking of retirement. I know I'm always sort of reading and encouraging people to take a look at your asset allocation, perhaps, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Asset allocation is incredibly important, especially as you get older. And if you are older, if you're nearing retirement or if you're in retirement, connecting with a certified financial planner, financial advisor to kind of talk you through your particular circumstance and what is the best move for you in all of this volatility is probably a pretty good move.
This morning, we're hearing from the big banks, some of the big banks talking about, Goldman Sachs saying the risk of a recession is now 45%. Jamie Dimon, JP Morgan saying that this is having a big impact on inflation. What are your thoughts about a possible global recession here in the U.S., the impact that will have on consumer spending now and businesses in the short term and the long run?
Well, it's really so hard to know because we just don't know how long these tariffs are going to last and what this is all going to look like in a week, much less 6 months or a year. But the truth is that the best thing that people can do is to kind of control what they can control. If they can pay down their high interest debt that they have to the degree they can, that's a good thing. If they can build their emergency fund up to the degree that they can, that's a good thing. Moves like that make your financial foundation a little more stable and make you a little more able to manage whatever might come, good or bad.
Yes, I think we're seeing that in terms of people really pulling back on their spending, consumer spending. Really quick before we have to let you go, interest rates. The Federal Reserve has to walk that balance between stimulating the economy, helping prevent a recession as policymakers watch inflation. What do you think in terms of interest rates right now?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of pressure from the president for the Fed to make a move, but I don't think anybody should anticipate the Fed lowering interest rates anytime soon. Best thing you can do is try and control those rates yourself through things like a 0% balance transfer credit card or joining with a high yield savings account and bring in some good returns.
Yeah, it's good advice. Some of these credit cards, their interest rates are very high, what they're charging people right now.
It is true.
All right, Matt Schulz with LendingTree. Thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully, we're giving some people some good advice on their credit. Thank you.
Download Fox Local for more videos on demand.